been asked to do a video review of the game that was played between Sharur and Singletee in the Hinterland Mix tournament yesterday. So I've prepared the Kingdom, and this is a seed that I've played before, so I'm not going to do anything creative. I'm just going to play the line that I played when I did the testing. So here it goes. Alright, so first question on this Kingdom. Also, we're going to do the Triumph Megaturn. I guess I should have said that already. We're going to focus on a Triumph Megaturn or on a Triumph heavy deck in general, as opposed to what was played in the actual game. That's hence why I made this video. So the actual question, if you go for that, in the very beginning, is do you do remake Warehouse or do you do remake Border Guard? So at first I did Warehouse, and I thought about it a little more. And the nice thing about Border Guard is, yes, you have one less search space to find your remake, but if you do find your remake, you're going to hit $2 on the turn instead of one. If you also played your Warehouse, which means you can buy another Border Guard. It also means that if you don't see your remake turn 3 or your Warehouse turn 3, then the Warehouse would usually trigger a shuffle that is very bad for you, as it draws into the new shuffle and there's not going to be anything good in it. And Border Guard doesn't have that problem. And then obviously Border Guard isn't hand size decreasing, so it does do better later once your deck is more clean. Warehouse does push you a little bit into more of a tunnel-centric line, which can work out perfectly fine. If your shuffles line up, if you can get the tunnel soon enough, if you can still remake an estate into a tunnel without hurting your turns too much, because you usually have to get ghost zones from them or warehouses, so you're limited in those regards. So warehouse can work, but I personally prefer the Border Guard line, so I will do Border Guard and remake. Alright, so we see the remake turn 3, in which case Warehouse would be better, but okay, if we didn't see the Warehouse turn 4, because then we would trigger the shuffle, putting remake back in, but anyway. So here I actually have a decision of what do I want to gain, and the nice thing about getting Ghost Town is that now my Border Guard is the same thing as the Warehouse would, which is triggering the shuffle, and I'm more likely to find my Border Guard. So I definitely want to get in the Ghost Town here, and then buy Border Guard. Playing the Ghost Town, alright. So here the Border Guard triggers the shuffle. We are actually not even unlikely to find it. There are 5 cards in the discard, 1 on top, so of the 4 cards in the discard, either finding remake or Border Guard is good. If we find the Border Guard, we have a 2 and 3 to find the remake. But here we get lucky and just find the Border Guard. Just find the remake right away. So we are going to trash the 2 estates into another Ghost Town, just because you always want the Ghost Town, because we're also going to get a Watchtower here. This allows us to play the remake before the Watchtower on a very nice draw if we do get it. And to make that more likely, I'm also going to buy the Warehouse, just to increase the odds of seeing my remake and my Watchtower together. Okay, so we don't see any of it, but we have the Border Guard, which finds the Warehouse, so finds the Watchtower, sorry. So this isn't great, but I don't care too much about hitting 5. I could take the Copper and buy the Inn. I'd rather play the Watchtower though, with reasonable chances of finding my remake, right? Because there's another Border Guard and the Warehouse in there, which would both guarantee find it. So this is a 3 and 4 to find it, and we do nicely that we don't have to play the Warehouse first, so we still have an extra card in our hand. So here we are going to trash Copper, and this Ghost Town becomes a Talisman, because we do want the extra gains from Talisman, as there is no visible plus buy at least. And I'm going to buy Ghost Town because I always want the Ghost Town in play, so I can do remake and Watchtower together. Okay, so I'm going to play Border first, taking the Talisman, another Warehouse. Okay. I'm going to discard the Coppers and the Talisman, and I want to trash the Copper, and I want to trash this Ghost Town into another talisman, because my ambitions for this turns are just to get as many Ghost Towns as I can. So I want the talisman. With that in mind, I should top deck it. Well, I know there's a copper on top, so if I top deck the talisman, I would find the talisman with the Beauregard, but also the copper would go back into the shuffle, so I guess I will not top deck it and just play this first. Okay, we do find the other copper. I mean, this finds everything anyway, so I guess it's completely inconsequential. Alright, so here we have 6, but all we want is Ghost Towns. We can't use the talisman on in, so I'm just going to buy the Ghost Towns. Playing all of them. Okay, here I will just play a Beauregard, finding my talisman. Now this warehouse will draw fully. We could think about gain and play into another remake. I don't think there is that much need to kill the coppers that badly, so I'm not going to. And I think I'll just trash 2 coppers and buy 3 more Ghost Towns. So here in turn 8, I will stop this after this turn, as there will be piles running low, and this is the crucial turn where you could build bigger, but you probably should start triumphing. I will present 3 different lines that vary in how much they score, and how much they go for the death card rune market, and in how much they preserve deck quality. So I'm starting by remaking a Ghost Town into a death card, so I'll always take at least 1 death card here. We don't find the rune market right away. I will then therefore trash the death card, as I will not do triple triumph at least. I will take 1 remake, which gets top decked, so the border guard finds it and I can play it before the shuffle. Alright, so here now we have different lines. We can either trash the Ghost Town into another death card. Okay, we wouldn't find it. We still don't find it, so I will trash it. And now we have the option of trashing the warehouse into another death card, taking another gamble, which only has 1 rune, so this is probably not advised, but it finds the rune market, so let's just look at that, what that would be able to do. If you were to find a rune market, then you can trash the death card, play the rune market, and you would double triumph, which scores 25 VP. Let's say you do not do that, as there's only 1 rune for it, so yeah, it's not the best. You could do just warehouse into another remake that you would top deck, and trash this into 1 death card, always still happens. You still want to trash the runes, but you want to preserve the death card. Okay, and now you have different choices again. We're only going to get single triumph, so we can either trash 2 coppers, or we can trash 2 talisman into 2 caches, which obviously maximizes the VP, but our deck is going to be pretty bad afterwards if we do that. Or we can trash 1 of each, so I guess there are 4 options total. So let's say we maximize VP, just to give a comparison to the 25. I wouldn't do this, I would probably trash 1 of each or 2 coppers, but so this would be 16 VP, and if we don't trash to maximize VP, but take the line that preserves our deck in a reasonable state, we would score 10 VP. So you have between 10 and 25 VP, depending on how lucky you get, how many risks you tag, and how much you like your deck after the turn. Alright, so that's the kingdom. I hope you get an idea of how I would play this board. Thanks for watching.